welcome to this video tutorial on how to bisque fire your pottery in an electric kiln. We're going to go over how to load the pottery into the kiln and how to program the kiln. So let's get started. We'll begin loading the pottery into the kiln. When we're loading the pottery into the kiln, we want to make sure we leave a space for our shelf risers so we can stack shelves to put more pottery in our kiln, and we always want to make sure we keep the pottery away from the thermometers here. Next, we'll stack the shelves on top of the kiln risers we put in. If there's a little wobble, it's okay, but you want them to be fairly stable. And next, we'll continue to put pottery in until the kiln is full or all of our work is in the kiln. When all your pottery is in the kiln or the kiln is full, then you can close the lid. Push it all the way up and then bring it back down. Next, we'll show you how to fire the kiln in ramp hold mode for a bisque firing. You start by pressing the ramp hold button. Next, the kiln is asking for a user. That would be if you have already programmed a firing schedule into the kiln and it was under one of the numbers 1 through 6. But for this, we're going to just go with user 1 and hit enter. And now it's going to ask us how many segments we want in our firing. For this video tutorial, we'll use 5 segments. So we'll hit 5 and press enter. After you've selected the number of segments you want, the kiln's controller will display RA1. The RA stands for rate and the 1 stands for segment 1. Now you'll enter the rate the temperature will rise in degrees Fahrenheit per hour for the first segment. For this video tutorial, we'll be starting with a temperature of 100 degrees an hour. So you can type in 100 and hit enter. Next, the kiln will display degrees Fahrenheit and 1. The degrees Fahrenheit stands for the degrees Fahrenheit and the 1 stands for segment 1. Now you will enter the target temperature for the segment. Our target temperature for this segment will be 180 degrees Fahrenheit. So type in 180 and hit enter. Now the kiln controller will display HLD1. This is where you will want to enter the amount of time in hours and minutes you want the kiln to hold the target temperature for segment 1. For this tutorial, we will hold for 4 hours. It is important to remember that the 2 spaces to the right of the decimal point on the controller are displayed in minutes and the 2 to the left are displayed in hours. Type in 400 and hit enter to set a hold of 4 hours. Now the kiln's controller will display RA2, so we will enter the rate of temperature increase per hours for segment 2. For segment 2, we're going to increase the temperature of 100 degrees an hour, so we're going to type in 100 and hit enter. Next, the kiln is displaying degrees Fahrenheit N2. So we'll enter our target temperature for segment 2, and our temperature for segment 2 for this video tutorial will be 350 degrees. So type in 350 and hit enter. And for this hold on segment 2, we're going to hold for 1 hour. So we're going to type in 100 and hit enter. For segment 3, we will use a rate of 150 degrees an hour, rising to 1,000 degrees, and we will not have a hold. So we'll type in 150, hit enter, then we'll type in 1,000, hit enter, and then because we don't want to hold, we'll just hit 000 and enter. For segment 4, we will use a rate of 75 degrees an hour, rising to 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit, and we will not have a hold for this segment as well. So I'll type in 75, hit enter, then type in 1,200, hit enter, and 0 for the hold again, and hit enter. For segment 4, we will use a rate of 150 degrees Fahrenheit an hour, rising to 1750. And we will not have a hold for this segment as well. So I'll type in 150, enter, then 1750, enter, and then 0 for our hold again, and enter. Next, the kiln will display alarm on its control panel. This is where you enter an alarm of 1800 degrees for safety precautions. In case the kiln were to get too hot, it will sound the alarm. And then hit enter. After you've entered the alarm, it will go back to idle mode. Now all you have to do is hit start and wait to hear the click. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video tutorial on how to load and bisque fire your pottery in an electric kiln. Hopefully this video was helpful to you.